Have you ever caught yourself doing something you didn't even want to do just so someone wouldn't be disappointed in you? Maybe you said yes to a group project you didn't want. Maybe you stayed quiet when someone made a joke about you. Maybe you changed your opinion in a conversation just so the room wouldn't get awkward. And the crazy part is, most of us do this without even realizing it. We spend years chasing approval from friends, from teachers, from family, from people online, and we convince ourselves it's normal. But there's a moment, and if you've experienced it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The moment you stop chasing approval, and when that moment happens, your life quietly starts to change. I remember a specific time in my life when I realized how much approval I was chasing. I was constantly checking how people reacted to what I said. Did they laugh? Did they agree? Did they like the message I sent? Even small things started to control my mood. If someone left me on read, I'd overthink it. If someone disagreed with me, I'd replay the conversation in my head for hours. And it wasn't because I was weak or insecure. It was because I thought approval meant safety. If people liked me, everything was fine. If they didn't, something must be wrong with me. And that mindset quietly shapes how you live. Think about school for a second. How many times have you stayed up late finishing work you didn't care about just to avoid disappointing a teacher? Or agreed with a friend's plan even though you were exhausted? Or laughed at a joke that didn't sit right with you just so the vibe wouldn't change? Approval chasing shows up in small moments. But when those moments stack up, they start controlling your entire life. And here's the uncomfortable truth most people never say out loud. When you chase approval, you slowly lose yourself. Because instead of asking, what do I actually want? You start asking, what will make them happy? Instead of speaking honestly, you start filtering everything. Instead of making decisions based on your goals, you make them based on reactions. And the weird thing is, the more you try to be liked by everyone, the less people actually respect you. Not because you're a bad person, but because people can feel when someone is constantly adjusting themselves to fit the room. And here's where the shift begins. The day you stop chasing approval, you realize something powerful. Most people are not thinking about you nearly as much as you think they are. Everyone is busy worrying about their own lives, their own problems, their own insecurities. The approval you were chasing, half the time it wasn't even being evaluated in the first place. That realization alone feels like someone just took a weight off your shoulders. But let's be honest, stopping approval seeking isn't easy, because approval is addictive. Every compliment, every good job gives your brain a small hit of validation. It feels good, so you keep chasing it. But over time, that creates a dangerous habit. Your confidence starts depending on other people's reactions. And when your confidence depends on reactions, you become emotionally controlled by the room you're in. Imagine walking into a classroom and being able to say what you actually think. Imagine saying no to something without feeling guilty. Imagine posting something online without obsessively checking who liked it. That freedom is what happens when approval stops being your fuel. Now here's the interesting part. The moment you stop chasing approval doesn't mean people suddenly dislike you. In fact, the opposite often happens. When you become more honest, more grounded, more comfortable with disagreement, people start respecting you more, because confidence is not loud. It's not aggressive. It's simply the ability to exist without constantly needing validation. Let me give you a simple example. Think about the person in a friend group who always tries to please everyone. They laugh at every joke, they agree with every opinion, they apologize constantly. At first they seem nice, but eventually people start ignoring their voice. Now think about the person who is calm, respectful, but honest. They don't agree with everything. They speak when something feels off. They're kind, but they're real. That person gets listened to. So how do you actually stop chasing approval in real life? It starts with a few small shifts. First, notice when you're filtering yourself. The next time you're about to say something, ask yourself a quick question. Am I saying this because it's true or because I want them to like me? That one question alone will start exposing how often approval drives your behavior. Second, practice small acts of honesty. Not aggressive honesty, calm honesty. If someone asks for something you can't do, say, I can't this time. If you disagree with something, say, I see it differently. These small moments retrain your brain to value authenticity over approval. Third, stop over-explaining your decisions. Approval seekers love giving long explanations because they want their choices to be accepted. But the truth is, confident people don't write essays to justify their boundaries. They simply state them. And here's the mini twist most people don't expect. When you stop chasing approval, some people will react differently. They might question you. They might say you've changed. And they're not entirely wrong. You have changed, but not in a bad way. What actually changed is that your identity is no longer built around pleasing them. And that moment can feel uncomfortable at first because you're stepping out of a role people were used to. But discomfort is not a sign you're doing something wrong. It's often a sign that you're growing. Over time, something surprising starts to happen. You begin to trust yourself more. Decisions feel clearer. Conversations feel lighter. You stop replaying every interaction in your head. And the energy you used to spend worrying about approval suddenly becomes available for something else. Your goals. Think about how much mental energy approval chasing consumes. Overthinking messages, analyzing reactions, adjusting your personality. That energy could be used for studying, building skills, working out, creating something meaningful. When you stop chasing approval, you gain back mental space. And that's when real confidence begins to grow. Not the loud type you see online, but quiet confidence. The kind that lets you walk into a room and just be yourself without performing for anyone. Here's the part I want you to remember. You don't need to wake up tomorrow and suddenly stop caring what anyone thinks. That's unrealistic. We're human. We all care to some degree. The goal isn't to eliminate approval completely. The goal is to stop letting it control your decisions. So try something small tonight. One moment where you would normally adjust yourself to please someone. And don't one opinion you would normally hide and say it respectfully. One decision you would normally over-explain and simply state it. Watch how it feels. It might feel uncomfortable at first. That's normal. But that discomfort is the beginning of freedom. Because the day you stop chasing approval isn't the day people stop liking you. It's the day you start liking yourself a lot more. And when that happens, your entire life starts to move in a different direction. So if this message hits you in some way, take it as a reminder. Your job is not to be approved by everyone. Your job is to become the kind of person you respect. Start there, and everything else will adjust. Let's level up together.